Next up today, we're going to be talking about the brand new free-to-play game from Ubisoft. Last year, Ubisoft brought out a game that some of y'all may have played, probably not. Actually, two games they brought out last year, Assassin's Creed Mirage and Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. Y'all remember that game came out?
What's that?
I know, right?
Never.
So this year, we finally have the game xDefiant, which went through a kind of a crazy pull, like a crazy period of time, because at one point when they first launched it, they were like, it's going to be all like graffiti and like colorful and this, that, whatever. And then they kind of pulled back a little bit and made it a little bit more serious, and then finally released the game. So this is what some people have been calling a, quote, Call of Duty killer. And in this game, you play a first-person shooter. There are 14 maps, 4 classes, 4 game modes, and over 40 attachments that you can get for your weapons. And in this, you can play as factions from the various Ubisoft franchises, such as Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell, Far Cry, and Ghost Recon. And all of those, this is actually the closest you can get to playing Sam Fisher, because you can play Sam Fisher as an ultimate, and it's the only time you'll probably ever be able to play Sam Fisher again. So for that, it's worth downloading, right?
No.
Just kidding.
Absolutely not.
So in these 4 classes, they each have some specialties. That this game is really a mix match, or no?
It is a miss.
It's not. We'll see. It's a mixture of Call of Duty and Overwatch. Basically, had a baby, and the Call of Duty part is you have lots of guns and you have attachments you can change out, and the gameplay itself feels very Call of Duty. It's small arena-based maps that have lots of pathways and angles and things like that, and you go around, shoot people, very fast time to kill, super fast, very smooth, very well performing. A lot of people on day one had a bunch of issues getting into matches. I didn't really have any issues. I played late at night though, and then since then I haven't had any problems. So I think it got a lot of bad traction right off the get-go because people couldn't get into games, which that happens on first days of launches or whatever. But that's the one piece of it, is you're getting kills, you're getting kill streaks, you're taking people out, you're upgrading. You have a whole set of loadouts that you can do. You can do assault rifles, light machine guns, submachine guns, snipers, marksman weapons, and then there's over 40 attachments to the game. And you have your traditional guns that are like M4A1, AK-47, this, that, whatever. Then the second part of it, you have your hero abilities. So you pick a faction from those different franchises, and there's everybody has 1 skin unlocked per faction, and you can eventually unlock up to 2 more as you play through the game. And those give you a passive ability, a primary ability you pick one of 2 of, and then a ultimate. Which one of the big gripes I have about this game is it takes forever to unlock an ultimate.
Yes, it does. I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah. It takes forever to unlock the ultimate, and when you get the ultimate, they're not strong enough to be worth anything, because in Overwatch, you get an ultimate, you're going to do some fucking damage.
Yeah,
you work your ass off to get it, but you're going to do some damage when you get it.
Yeah.
In this one, it's so easy to counter an ultimate from another player that it's basically a waste. I literally spent one game, I spent half the game getting an ultimate, the Sam Fisher one, which is when you get the Sam Fisher ultimate, you can basically see every player on the map, and they show up wall hacking. And then you have a pistol that basically is a 2-hit kill pistol. But there's snipers in this game that can 1-hit headshot you from a distance. So I activated this thing, and I was like, fuck yeah, I get to go around freaking be Sam Fisher, and then bam, headshot, I was dead. And then I had to wait another half hour to get the freaking thing up again. I was like, this is bullshit, But the abilities are pretty interesting. I mean, you get to pick 1 from 2. So if you pick from the Division classes, they focus on fire. So they're more kind of an AoE damage dealer kind of ability. So one's a drone that you send out that sends a fire drone of fire in its path.
And then it explodes on contact once it hits something.
Explodes on contact when it hits something. And the other one is it's a fire, it drops a Molotov cocktail around you. So it basically creates a wall of fire around you. So it burns anything in your vicinity. So you can run into a flag, and drop a bomb, and then bam, you got everybody caught on fire. And then you have the Far Cry one is more your healer class. So that will do AoE healing, whether drop a healing thing over somewhere else or do healing around you. The Splinter Cell one is recon. So you have a ghillie suit that will make you invisible for a period of time. And then you also have an ability that lets you do a pulsate every 5 seconds from your body that reveals enemies within your vicinity through walls. So you have a wall hack with that. And then the Watch Dogs one is something you have to unlock through playing and or paying. And that one I think is like a little drone that you can drive around to like detect things and blow people up or whatever. I haven't used it yet, but that's the other piece of the game. So my big problem with it right now is that I feel like there's a bit of an identity crisis of like it's going a lot into the Call of Duty realm, but then on the hero side, all of the game modes, this is something I found, like IGN had an article about this that was pretty spot on, honestly. All the game modes are Overwatch friendly in that they're basically like relying on team-based combat, but then they have the game feeling as if like it's I want to be the top of the leaderboard with kill streaks and stuff like that. But you have to work together. But people aren't working together. They're instead just like getting kills. And it's like it's a conflict of interest in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit. Let y'all give some of your opinions. Jason, especially, you played as well.
Yeah, I played it. I'm used to playing Overwatch now because I'm playing it with a friend. I really enjoy Overwatch. I don't think this game feels like it, but it's so fast paced, and I feel like the game isn't. The maps and stuff are phenomenal. I love the details in the maps and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that portion of it. It just feels like the game's not fully polished. And like Brett says, I feel like it does have like a identity crisis still. And I think what really messed that up is what they were initially trying to go for. And then they backed up and was just like, oh, we can't do that. And I think that kind of ruined the whole identity of the game. So yeah. I don't feel, I don't know. It's a weird mashup, and I don't think it's going that well for me. I mean, it's fun. I mostly played as the, the Division bad guy. The
fire guys,
fire guy. And I was enjoying it at first.
Cleaners, I think that's what they're called. Yeah.
I was enjoying it at first, but after a while, I mean, shit, dude, it is so, like, redundant and fast. And, like, you get killed easily, which, you know, same way with other players and stuff. But I can see people getting like super good at this game, and it's just going to be unplayable for me because I have no interest in going back to this game at the moment.
Yeah,
it's cool because of the environments. You can really find different ways to sneak around and like get behind an enemy, which I found that out because I went through an air duct and like went around, which is cool. But yeah, it's just a weird mashup, and I think that's what's like really getting me on it.
Yeah, I really think I don't think this is a game that's gonna like a complete failure in any way because I'm having an absolute blast honestly playing it. Like it's as refreshing to me as like me jumping into the finals. Like that was something that like, you know, caught my attention. I was like, this is awesome. I love this. There's so many games out there are doing the battle royale thing, and they're overwhelming. And this game isn't really that overwhelming, but yes, it is super, super fast. But I like that fast. I like the Call of Duty gameplay. I just don't like Call of Duty anymore, and that there's just so much bullshit in the game that, I mean, like building a weapon in Call of Duty is like insane. There's like 5,000 weapons and 5,000 attachments and all this stuff. This one's got like probably 15 guns. And then you have the 40 attachments, right? And you can only have a certain number of attachments on each weapon. So you have to kind of pick and choose and make it really simple to kind of upgrade that system. But the Overwatch part of it, as much as I like it, I just struggle with that. You know, if your team sucks, like your team sucks, and that's annoying. And that there's not a really good, strong sense of like, in Overwatch, it's very clear, and the game is designed to make sure that you're picking the right classes to fit the team makeup, so that you have the right amount of tanks and the right amount of healers and the right amount of whatever. This game doesn't have any of those restrictions. So people are jumping in and just playing whatever the hell they want. And a lot of times people lean on the fire guy. Yes. So they're all there's classes broken down here.
And you don't even realize that. And another thing that annoys me about the game is like it didn't really have a tutorial system. It just throws you into it.
Yeah, they don't want you.
And I'm like, well, I kind of want to figure out all these guys' abilities. I want to figure out like the different game modes you have and all that stuff. Overwatch does a good job in their tutorial system that like plays through and tells you what each character does, or switch it up, or like what missions are there available, and you get to practice with those and figure them out instead of just jumping in there. What am I doing next? What is this? And it's just pure chaos because everyone's running around shooting each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, so for example, this push game mode, this is very common Overwatch style, you know, where it's like Overwatch, you have the little floating truck or whatever you push around. This is like a little robot guy, and it's a push and pull thing. So what I found like in the meta in this one for me is I play the character from not the Division, but from Ghost Recon, and it's a big brute that he's more of the he's the Reinhardt basically of this game, and he can either put down a shield that you can shoot through, but they can't shoot back in, or he's got a big ass shield that he can hold up in front of him, like the shield that you get in Battlefield. You know, that you can use to, like bash people with it. Shield, they have the riot shield here, and that's what I use. So like my tactic is that I go up, if we're pushing, I go up to the thing, I pull out my riot shield, and I just hold that thing and push that point up. And I hope that my team is covering me, because if they can cover me, I can push that thing all the way down, because the riot shield lasts about 15 seconds, and you can get about 25% of a push with 15 seconds of the riot shield. And it's like pretty indestructible, which is awesome. The problem is they don't tell you any of this stuff. Like you said, it's like you're not taught on, like, it's very obvious Far Cry, the Far Cry character is a healer, because it's like it's two healing thingies.
Still, you don't
but
know.
Are people going to use the healer appropriately? Like, no, because
you have Call of Duty mindset people jumping into this.
Yeah.
That's the issue. That's where, like,
well, because it looks like it.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like it. The gameplay feels like Call of Duty.
They're coming in to play a game that's like Call of Duty, and in every sense, it is Call of Duty, but the game modes are Overwatch.
Yeah.
And Overwatch was designed very differently to cater to that situation. And I think what they really need to focus on is, like for one, they need to balance the skill abilities. So, like, I think the fire in this game is way too overpowered.
Oh shit, it is.
People like freaking have incendiary ammo. They can shoot you with a sniper rifle from across the map with incendiary ammo and just kill you in one shot, and like just bam, done. You're killed.
Like 4 people in a row with fire.
The incendiary like drone, it just throws in there, and it's like if you have somebody that's going to drop fire in front of you, you're basically consider yourself dead too. Yeah. And so that stuff is kind of annoying in that you have that class that's way overpowered. The wall hack ability also is overpowered. So there's people out there that basically all they're choosing is, I'm either going to do a bunch of fire or I'm going to see everybody on the map. So if you play there's no incentive to play the healing class, because you're going to be dead before you can heal anybody anyway. And
there's no, I forgot.
Just not balance. There's an imbalance here.
There's no like line of war. There's no front.
There's no front. There can be, like, especially in these push and pull maps, like there can be that, like and the maps are like,
it moves too fast.
It's so fast.
Yeah,
like,
it's super fast. Yeah, I mean, you die in the move, and then it's just it's hard to like kind of keep a good line.
It's a little slower. Yeah. You have to team up. Yeah, you can take on some guys with like 2 or 3 guys, like not your whole team, but like in the end of the day, like if you're making the push, like, you want everybody there ready to go. And you're coordinating ultimates, you know, you're keeping track of what the other team has done. So you know, like, okay, what's potentially they could use next or not use next, what's down.
There is a very clear, like, in Overwatch, like, there's an aspect of, like, ganking the other team, and then you wipe out their team, and then you have a chance to push everything forward.
Right.
This one, the time to respawn and the distance that the defense has to get to the point is so small that, like, I went in one game, I killed 3 of the 5 players. I'm like, cool, we got to win. Literally 3 seconds later, everybody was back in there. And I'm like, that's a great Call of Duty feature for if I'm doing like a team deathmatch, but it's not if I'm doing a push-pull map. You know?
That's what it feels like. It feels like a team deathmatch every time, no matter what fucking game mode you're doing.
If I play it, that's how I'm going to play it. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So I think that, I mean, if they balance some of the heroes classes, and I think if they bring in some mode, like they need a team deathmatch. They need all these modes are like team-based objective modes that are trying to like lean into the whole hero-based thing, but they really just need to do some traditional, no bullshit. Like, I mean, the domination is cool, like the capture points, like that's a fair one, but like, you shouldn't do like the push and pull part, like, I don't know, do something different with the abilities or something like that. But throw a team deathmatch in there. Give me an incentive to like just win that way.
Yeah. Would this have any benefit to play like Halo in the sense like everyone starts out with like the same rifle, pistol, and in the map you pick up guns, you pick up different grenades. So it's not like this class always has this, and you're like, well, shit.
Yeah, could be interesting
because it seems like some of them are overpowered.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the abilities that make it all the day. Because I mean, what I do like about this game is that the loadouts aren't tied to the classes.
Yeah.
So like if you're playing if you're playing a Ghost Recon character, you don't have to have a light machine gun like you'd expect. Like I can play
a rifle or a pistol.
Yeah, and if you play but actually that could honestly help balance it a little bit if I think about it. Because if you're playing a recon character, I can run around with a fucking assault rifle and have wall hacking, which is kind of crazy. Whereas like if they had just a marks like a sniper rifle, they have to stay back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there's less chance of them like just doing a bunch of
almost
crazy
like the Black
damage.
Widow character from Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly. So it actually might be a deterrent for it, and that it doesn't have the weapons locked to a class type.
Yeah.
And I think that would honestly help. Man, now that I think about it, I was like, I love the fact that it is pulled apart. Now that I think about it, I think it would make people want to play more of the weapons too. Because like if you really love the fire guys, the cleaners, like you'd have to use a light machine gun maybe, or you'd have to use a shotgun. So like it would help. The fire is really powerful, but then a shotgun you have to get really, really close.
Yes.
So you can't like snipe somebody from a distance with that ability.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of tweaks they can make to it. I think there's a lot of potential here, but I'm also nervous it's going to be like go the way of Hyperscape, where it's just like,
yep,
they got stuff they got to fix. I mean, there's a really good game here and really good ideas. I'm just concerned that people are going to jump into it and be like, well, the identity crisis thing is happening, or it's too fast, or it's got something that I don't quite like that I expect it to have, and then they're just going to drop off and not come back to it.
But the maps are cool.
The maps are incredible, honestly. Like that's one of the best things about this is, and there's a lot of them. There's 14 maps in this game at launch, which is crazy, and they're all super unique, and they have so many little Easter eggs and teasers from like all the different games. Mm-hmm. It's like it's just awesome to run around. There's one that's like a push pull map that's like in a zoo, and you like start out like outside, and you go down in the aquarium, and then you come out like you go through like an area with like a dinosaur, and like you're actually out in like the safari at one point, and like this one's from the Division right here, I believe, and it's a Statue of Liberty map, and I'm like, it's so neat the variety. There's just a lot of great design stuff here. It's just I think systems wise they missed the mark in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
but it can be tweaked.
Wonder if they're gonna have like an Assassin's Creed.
That'd be so interesting. I don't know how that would work, but
Ubisoft properties, right?
Yeah,
it would be futuristic Assassin's Creed.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, this is like I know a lot of people used to make these games to compete in the esports like space. Like ours is the next greatest thing. Like, does this feel like something that would be? I don't even know what happened to esports. Like, I know they're around, but
I think it could. I think it could.
Yeah,
I think it's in its state right now. It's not ready for esports yet. It's not polished, but yeah, it could definitely be
like
in esports.
Overwatch. Like you can do play by play, like if they do this or if they do that, and like cool things happen, and it makes it like exciting. This is just like they're running around so fast, killing people. Yeah, I mean, it's not really exciting.
Something that I do love about this map, though, is that about the map designs here is like it reminds me of the old days of Call of Duty, where I would learn every little nook and cranny of that map.
Yeah,
I know where all the choke points were to like go in there and do stuff, and like. I was playing one map that was a three-point capture point, and it's got a big ass like airplane that's bombed down in the middle, and that was such a fun map to play because there's a choke point in the center where there's one base that everybody just kind of fights over, and then there's an extra point on either side that pretty much like each team controlled that, and they were fighting for the middle. So it brought everybody to the center, but there were so many different access points into this plane that you could get around. So like there was one time where there was like a firefight with like the team on one side and my team on the other side. So I went all the way around and came in through the back door and up top. And I literally had all 4 of the 5 red guys with their backs to me. And I was like, and just took them all out. It was awesome. And I was like, that's fun. Like there's just, you learn the map design.
Right.
And you can like, every little spot that you can go to like flank this guy or get to that guy or whatever. So I think the maps are great, that's a huge step in the right direction. It's just they got to figure out like who they are. Like, are they a Call of Duty or are they an Overwatch? Like right now, you don't know.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Halo because I played it more recently, and there's no running. Obviously, it's just really like you're running, but you're not fast.
Yeah,
it's not fast running.
Yeah,
it's kind of slow, and it's kind of slow paced. So you kind of have to figure out how you're going to attack a situation because you're not getting out of anything. Like once you're in, like you're kind of committed, and I think that makes for good moments. Like even throughout all of the Halo games, like that's always been a thing. Like, you're not really running. You're kind of fast walking. Okay, you're jogging. And so, yeah, like figuring out the well-timed grenade to like bust someone's shields and then quickly take them out with like a machine gun or a pistol to the head. Little just like quirks here and there that allow you to get the edge on somebody so you come out barely alive most of the time.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. But this is just like, you're alive, you're dead. You're alive, you're dead.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And it's like you saw the cooldown timer like to respawn. It's like 2 seconds,
Yeah, I think
you
that's
get back
been
in so fast.
toned down from when I played the beta.
Yeah.
I think it was a little longer back then.
Yeah. But hopefully they can figure out a way to fix it and get it up. Because I mean, a lot of people are shitting on the battle pass stuff too, and I was like, there's actually some interesting stuff in there. I think it's kind of cool, but
some of it I saw, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that's like mind-blowingly spectacular, but it's not bad. But it's just a funny. I mean, I like it better than any Call of Duty I played recently. I just wish they just got some stuff to fix.
This is just flavor of the month. I think it's gonna go away real quick.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, yeah. I love to say you're wrong, but I don't think I can. I'm like I hope it lasts, but I'm not confident that it will. It's up to really Ubisoft and the community to jump on it and stick with it,
But back to Overwatch, like the way that the gameplay plays out, like makes you like want to come back and play more because of the pacing, and how everything works together. Because you get really cool moments.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're gonna have that here.
I've had some good moments, but then I've had a lot of shitty situations where there's times where it can get so imbalanced with the teams where like one team is doing so much better than the other, and it's like you're not going to come back from this, you know?
Yeah.
And that in Overwatch, there's always a chance that you can turn the tides the other direction. With the right team makeup,
Right.
And this just isn't quite doing it yet.
Well, another Ubisoft game that probably fell.
Yeah, but honestly, like for me, like right now, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Like,
wow,
I'm happy with it. I enjoy what I'm playing. Like, I really, really do like it.
Probably below 7. And I'm playing on PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
Brett's playing on PC.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean,
it was running great on PlayStation 5, but
I mean, performance. I was getting 145 frames per second, easy, maxed out too. Like I got maxed out with my 3070. I'm getting 145 frames per second,
and it wasn't an issue for us.
And it looks good.
Each other either. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was easy to connect.
Yeah.
It is for those curious. If you're on PC, they did not bring it out on Steam, which I think was a dumb idea.
That's why I got it on PlayStation.
But they have it on their Ubisoft launcher or whatever. So yeah,
they want all the money. That's why.
Yeah,
and they want that transaction fees.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, and the menu design. I know we're talking about the menu design. Not a fan of the menu design.
Not a fan.
I feel like basic. it's basic, but it's like just everything's big and weirdly big in some way. I don't know, like especially in the main menu, it just seems like they overuse the space, and I don't like that as much. But game wise, it's fun. It's good. I'd recommend downloading it, giving it a try, and maybe your cup of tea, it may not. But if you want to play with me, let me know because I'm enjoying it, and I'll probably keep playing it until the community dies off.